So business partner is an overarching term. It's a bigger term. And it is typically it's just somebody that you typically generate some type of revenue with, or they have some function in the business with you together. Typically it is, typically it can be people who have major functions, within a business. It can be somebody who, maybe they do one function of the business. Maybe you do the marketing, they do the sales, or maybe you're the coach of the business, and then maybe they bring in the business, or they do the advertising for the business, right? So both of you have major parts in building this. A lot of these terms overlap, but then you can also have, just like a collaboration partner. And that could just be somebody like, yo, you want to go live? I go live. Yo, let's come together. Yo, I got this event. I want you to come and be a speaker. That's just collabing, right? It's not necessarily a long-term deal or a long-term project. It can literally just be, hey, we're coming together just for this one event, this one activity, and that can be what it is, right? So we have that. You have joint ventures, which is very similar, where it's just basically you guys coming together and doing some type of deal with some type of partnership together. It could be, a joint venture. It could be, hey, I got an email list of, 10,000 people. You are an expert in this topic. Hey, why don't you do a webinar for my people, and whoever buys, we split it. You see a lot of people who do that for live events, where they'll sell their product or services at a live event, or maybe you could be a vendor at a live event. So there's different ways that you can collaborate with people, or you can have business partners. The biggest thing, so that's really the difference. Now, the biggest thing that you really want to pay attention to when it comes to finding the right business partners, collaboration partners out here is, I like to focus on the character of a person. And I'm going to tell you why. I like to focus on the character of a person because that's really going to choose if they have your morals, if they have your values, if they hold the same principles that you hold, if they believe in some of the same things that you believe in, then like, all right, cool, this is a good person. The last problem you want to run into with somebody is not trusting them. You know what I mean? Imagine having to always look over the records, or always have to, make sure they're not taking the money, or, especially if you got like joint bank accounts, you know what I mean? Like you don't want to always have to be like, yo, worried, or is they taking money out of the bank account, or are they doing things that they're not supposed to be doing? You want to be able to find people that like, and trust. Anytime I'm collaborating with somebody, even if you hiring somebody, like you could be hiring a virtual assistant, or you could be hiring somebody to, do your marketing for you, or whatever the case is, you want to make sure that they have skill and expertise in that area. One of the biggest things that piss me off is if I'm partnering or I'm collaborating with somebody, and then I got to constantly keep looking over their work, or I can't just trust that you're going to do a good job. Because I'm like, damn, I should have just did it myself if I got to keep looking over it, because now I'm still spending more time, and it takes away from the whole reason I wanted us to do the partnership in the first place. Right? So I want to be able to trust that you're going to hold down your end. I'm going to hold down my end. If I'm bringing the expertise and you bringing the people, I need to be able to trust that you're going to get the people. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa, right? If I'm hosting something, it's my job to make sure I promote it. Or if we both promoting it, then we both supposed to do it. But I want to make sure that you have the necessary, based on whatever we partnering on, right? The necessary skill or expertise or education or whatever benefit that I'm seeing that I can bring you in for. I want to trust and believe that you're going to be able to bring that benefit to my people. Right, or however we're collaborating. So I like to also look at skill set. I like to also look at open communication between my partners. I mean, if anything happens, if anything changes, if anything moves, I want to make sure that I know what's going on. Especially typically when you're doing business, you have an audience involved, you have clients involved, you have other people involved, so you don't want to be looking crazy. You don't want to be looking like we just doing anything here. You want to be professional. You want to be able to make sure that you're running a tight ship, and you can't do that when there's no open flow of communication. So I need to know, like, what's your communication? How do you like to communicate? How often can we communicate? You also want to make sure that you're looking at communication. I want somebody who's a self-starter. I like to work with people who I can just trust that you just gonna go and you're gonna get it done. Not I gotta push you, I gotta drag you, I gotta put you on my back to be able to do it. So a lot of times if you're looking for business partners, you may not necessarily want to just find people who are brand new. You know what I'm saying? That might not always be the case, but you may not want to find people who are super new, because what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen is you're gonna find yourself collaborating or having a business partner that has a lot of mental blocks that they need to overcome, right? You know, they're afraid to make the phone call, they're afraid to put out the video, they're unsure of what people are gonna say. The judgment is a lot of mental barriers and limiting beliefs. To be fair, a lot of new folks have it, right? I've had it. A lot of us have it when you first start. But if you're really trying to make some things happen, I would try to find somebody or find a business partner, somebody who has some level of confidence already, some level of track record already, something to where, like, the type. I'm gonna tell you the real people that I like to work with, and I enjoy helping new people too, but I find that I love business, and I find that when I work with people that are too new, I end up doing way more personal development and mindset work versus the business, right? If I like me, I like, I know there's going to be some of it. Sometimes I like to give you the strategy. I like, yo, boom, let's strategize. Let's do this. Boom, do this, run this ad, do this. Boom, and I like to give you the plays. That's why the program that I have is called the playbook, the coaching and speaking, right? I like to be able to give you the play and be like, yo, go run this play, and boom, this is what you're going to do to be able to grow, scale your influence, scale your business, etc. But sometimes it's hard when the person's coming in, they can't even get to the business because there's a lot of personal challenges that they're trying to overcome, or they can't see, they can't some of the mental blocks on just being able to put themselves out there, or so there's a lot of things of that nature. So if you bringing on a business partner like that, although you might be cool, you might be buddy, you might be you might be friends since high school, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could literally have a good relationship with somebody, but just because you have a good friendship or relationship with somebody, that does not mean that they should be your business partner. You still got to do your due diligence. A lot of times that ends friendships, right? When you think you want to collaborate with somebody and it doesn't work out, and not only does it work out, a lot of times it gets ugly, and when it gets ugly, friendship is done. So you want to make sure that you really doing your due diligence, and if it is somebody that you know, and if it doesn't fit and you guys kind of already been talking about it, realize this, you can decline politely. It's okay. You know what? We cool. And to me, I think our friendship is better than anything. And I want us to continue growing. I want us to continue being friends together, like continue doing things together, continue learning together, doing these things. But I believe just for us being able to partner, I don't believe that right now is really the best time to be able to do that. I think we're both growing and developing, and I just don't think it's the right time for us to be able to do that. But that doesn't mean we can't do something in the future, which is very true. It does not mean that you can't do something with them in the future, because guess what? People grow, people develop, people become experts over time, people gain confidence, they break their limiting beliefs over time. So all of the mental barriers that slows them down from moving forward, then that allows them to be able to, allows them to be able a better business partner to you. Some of the best places to find business partners is masterminds. I'll say masterminds and or coaching programs, right? And the reason I say that is because, one, especially if you're in our space, right? And whatever space that you're in, like if you get around people, any place that you really can get around people in a growth environment for an extended period of time, so you get a chance to really learn who people are, that'll be perfect. So I say, look, there's 3 places you can look in terms of, so I said masterminds, and programs, but let me give you the types of people you can look at, and then I'm gonna give you the places. The types of people you can look at is, one is your clients. If you have any clients or people that you've helped, and you see like, okay, I can see that this person is really locked in, then you might end up doing some collaborations with some of your clients. I mean, I've done that. You know what I mean? Where I have a virtual assistant business with one of my clients, and literally she was just one of the rising stars and stepped up, inside of the group, helping other people, dedicated, showing up on time, shows up with a good attitude, and she's doing her thing, right? So we ended up collaborating. You can also collaborate with your peers. Your peers usually you find in masterminds, or you find in group programs, right? You find them, right? A lot of I would probably say, not everybody, but I would say maybe most of the people that I've collaborated with, like if you ever see me go live or collaborate with other people, we've probably were in some type of program or mastermind together, right? And one, depending on how high level the mastermind is, right? Because I'm in 6 and 7 figure masterminds. Well, guess what? First of all, if you even in the mastermind, I already know that you're a certain caliber, because for you to even get to the level where you're generating that type of revenue, I already know you have some type of you have some type of achievement, ambition within you. I know you have some type of obsession within you to be able to serve, to give, to grow. So sometimes just being in a particular environment already is enough credibility to say, okay, this may be a good candidate of somebody to work with, right? So that's what I would kind of look like. If somebody is willing to invest, or maybe a coaching program, if somebody is willing to invest in themselves to be able to go to the next level, you like, yo, all right, this person is like, they believe in growth, because you're not going to spend money on things that you don't believe in. So if you believe in growing, if you believe in taking your business to the next level, you believe in investing in yourself, and those are the type of people that I like to be around. So if I'm in a program with somebody and I'm seeing we're in a Facebook group together, or I see you on a Zoom every week or every month, and I'm seeing that you're asking great questions, you're progressing. I see that, you making things happen. I'm looking at you, I'm following you online. You're collaborating with other people. Every time I see you, you have like a good update. You're making progress. If I'm seeing all of these good things happening, I might say to myself, like, damn, this person is a rising star. So, okay, so let me see, maybe we can do something together. Let's see, what can we do together? What can we cross over together? How can we go live together? How can we do a product together? How can we do an event together? How can I speak on your stage or you speak on my stage? These are the things that you really want to be looking for. You want to keep an eye out on, these things that people are, these qualities of people, because this is what's going to allow you to go to the next level. All right. So these are things that I'm thinking about, right? So that's the second thing, is your peers. Usually if you're in some type of program, it could be an association, it could be a mastermind, but it could be something where you have a chance to be with somebody for a period of time, right? Not something you just met somebody for the first time. You need time. Time has to be a key factor here, because you need to be able to really see how people manage things well, how they manage in up times, down times, how they manage when they go through personal situations. There's some people who, like, as long as there's no problems in their life, they're good. Like, it's like, yo, as long as everything is smooth, there's no problems with the economy, there's the weather's nice, and their business is going good, and clients is loving them, and they don't have no personal challenges at home, and relationship is great, and money is flowing, and health is good, family members are great, right? You have people that, as long as the circumstances are perfect, they're good. Now, what happens though if you partner with that person too early, and you never saw how they respond in times of difficulty? You never really saw how this person responded when they have a personal situation happen in their life. You never really saw them respond to, how they respond when maybe they're going through health challenges and they say, you know what, I got to step back. I can't do anything. You're like, damn, we didn't spend months or we didn't spend years building this thing, and I understand health is important. I get it 100%, but we can't think of nothing together. We just got to stop cold turkey like that. There's so many people that the first sign of anything that goes wrong, they quit, they stop, they slow down. They don't try to find any alternatives to keep the ball rolling. And here you go in a situation where you're in the hospital. Some people will be like, yo, I'm on the way to the hospital and won't even show up. The fact that you're in the hospital bed and you still showed up, no excuse, and say, listen, there ain't nothing to turn on my phone and go to the Zoom. Look, that's light. I can listen, I can hear. I'm here, I'm chilling. Like, it is what it is. I wait for the doctor to come. It's all good. I'm here. But some people don't have that mentality. You feel what I'm saying? Now, what if you partner with somebody that soon as the sign of first thing happen, they throw their hands up. Okay, they get a divorce. They throw their hand, I can't do it no more. Right? Oh, you know what? I lost my job. I can't do it no more. Right? So now all of the time, the effort, the energy that you guys put in, the blood, the sweat, the tears, sacrificing time with your kids, sacrificing, just time with family, to invested in the money. And all of these things happen, and you're doing all of this, and now it falls to the wayside because you didn't take the time to really vet the person that you're partnering with. You didn't look at them over time and say, okay, I see you smiling when everything is going good, but I didn't see what it looked like when the storm came. I didn't see how you handled that. I didn't see the leadership. I didn't see how you stepped up during those times. And a lot of people get caught up like that as soon as they run it. I'm telling you, most of the times when somebody gets done dirty in a partnership, or the partner runs off with the money, or they take key assets that was part of the business and they steal them, or they move them, or they take them, most of the time it's because the partner ran into a situation, didn't know how to handle it, and that was their go-to. And we talked about the character of a person, right? So make sure that you really paying attention to the character of the person that you really want to work with, right? I told you some of the things that I look for, but you got to put together your own list of what you look for. I like communication. I like open communication. I like somebody who's a self-starter. I like somebody who's trustworthy. And other things too. Now, also you want to look at, obviously they got to have expertise in what they do. So if you collaborate in with somebody, they should be bringing some type of level of expertise to the table. So I like to make sure that they're skillful in that. If they're a beginner, again, you might be spinning your wheels and spending a lot of time not making any progress because they can't get past step one because they got a lot of mental blocks or limiting beliefs that's holding them back from moving forward. And then also I like to look at and work with my clients, my peers, and then also coaches, right? My coaches as well, right? You might see coaches, you might have peers, you might have mentors. They'll be great to partner with, right? So you might look at them and say, yo, they obviously they got more influence, they got more success or achievement in me than this area. Hey, I could bring something to the table too. Let's come together and let's make something happen. So you can do it that way. And then places you can go is really any organization, any program, any mastermind. I would say any group where you really get a chance to observe the behavior of somebody over an extended period of time. That's gonna be the key, because you need to know how they move in certain situations, in certain scenarios.